Right, we're here at TradeTechFX in Barcelona. It's September 2019, and we're here to interview Adam Toms, CEO Europe of OpenFin. Adam, thanks very much for coming here and having this interview with us today.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to be here.
Adam, tell us about some of the challenges in FX and how OpenFin relate to those.
Well, it's been super interesting to spend time here at the conference down here in Barcelona. I think right from the go on the panels, there was lots of themes that play super well as to why OpenFin is becoming a big part of the marketplace more broadly, and specifically in FX. Lots of themes about innovation, what do applications look like, how do you interact with clients and users, differentiate experiences, but then also overtones of industry collaboration, more openness in platforms and architecture, which is becoming really important across many different industries.
Adam, you're a sort of unmentioned power behind many systems. You work with quite a few banks, don't you? But you can't mention who they are.
Yeah, so OpenFin is really a kind of invisible technology, if you like, to many users. We're actually on over 200,000 desktops, wow. Powering over 1,000 applications within capital markets, but many of the users are simply unaware that OpenFin technology is what's driving that application, or connecting the applications together on their desktop to give them a very different kind of look and feel, and really enhance workflows by contextually linking. But to date, specifically for FX, we have 8 major applications that are built and operating on OpenFin. The one that we've talked a lot about at this particular conference is the new BNP Cortex platform, which was just released. We really think the BNP platform is kind of sums up a lot of the trends and themes we see that are going to be important on the desktop as we move forward. Particularly things like visualization of data, helping users navigate more complex kind of algorithms, for example, and also their digital assistant, which is embedded in the Cortex product.
You mentioned BNP, and obviously Cortex is one of the best known applications in the entire industry. They also mentioned you yesterday several times in the conference. Tell us a little bit more about your history with them.
Yeah, so BNP have actually been an OpenFin customer for many years. They had started out building internal desktop strategies, so thinking about how they make their users more productive, how they make the users more safer on the desktop, and kind of building almost like a private app store experience for their users inside the bank. But that relationship, as with all things, has evolved through time, and Cortex is the first external application that they've built on OpenFin and is going to be deployed to their client base.
Brilliant. And tell us, just moving on to things in general, where do you see the trends now in FX? Where have we come from? Where are we going now?
Yeah, so I think the world is moving away from these very large monolithic applications. The world's becoming much more specialized in terms of applications. We've seen that happen on our smartphones, for example, with very specialized individual apps and targeted information. The same thing is starting to happen on a desktop, whereby if you want to take space on a very busy trader's desktop, you have to having a small component is much more achievable in terms of getting that placement and usability, rather than asking a user to go into perhaps a whole web browser or launch a very large application on the desktop. In capital markets, it's very, very common for people to be using 10 to 15 applications a day. A large global asset manager was telling us last week at another conference that their traders are using on average 28 different applications every day in their workflow. So by having these more kind of, by having OpenFin, you can essentially create more targeted kind of widgets of information, much more specialized, that directly appeal to those users, and then crucially connect the information together across different apps. If we think that apps are much more specialized in components, we still need to bring them together for the whole user experience. That's what application interoperability allows. And crucially, it doesn't just connect, for instance, BNP's own application, it can connect it to third-party applications as well.
Brilliant. And Lastly, tell us a little bit about OpenFin's sort of corporate structure. How many people are you? Where is your headquarters, and so forth?
Sure, yeah. So OpenFin has been around for actually 9 years, but shipping OpenFin OS product for around about the last 4 years very aggressively. So we're seeing extreme growth, particularly as companies have moved more towards looking at web technology. We have 75 people in the company right now. We're headquartered out of New York and have a significant presence in London. Our Series B that we closed in 2017 was led by JP Morgan with participation from NEX Group, which is now CME Group. And actually we're really pleased earlier this year to close our Series C funding, which was led by Wells Fargo with participation from Barclays alongside JP Morgan and other investors who continue to journey with us.
Adam, thank you very much.